So a lot of you have been following our progress with the game Clock Tower Rewind.
Yeah!
And we have the project lead, Mariel, here to talk about it. But first, we want to show you guys this room exclusively, the first ever public viewing of the finished version of the intro anime sequence and the song, vocal song alongside that. So let's go ahead and play that. Survival horror games finally gets an official US release. Clock Tower Rewind offers English translation and a port to modern consoles to this previously Japanese-only 1995 Super Famicom game. The new release includes 2 game versions, animated intro, which you just saw, vocal songs, and special additional features. Mariel, we worked with you on this one. You were the project lead. Not only did you oversee development of the game and work with people on gameplay and game contents, you did a lot of what we just saw. Can you talk about kind of what that intro was, how you went about it, and what your role was on it?
Yeah, so I've animated my entire career, but I've only animated like side-scrolling fighting games, that kind of thing. So everyone is always like viewed from the side, and I do that okay. But when Adam approached me to lead and direct this animated short, I was like, oh my God, I've never done anything like this. I've never animated like in perspective, like I've, you know. So I kind of had to figure it all out as I went. Like I made short films in college, but that was a very long time ago. So I've been a fan of Clock Tower since I was 14. I discovered the game just in a giant zip of like ROMs that I grabbed, and Clock Tower was one of them. And just from the first time I played it, I became obsessed. It's one of my favorite games. I worked on my own personal project that was inspired by Clock Tower, so I really just love this game. So when this opportunity came up, it was like, oh my God, yes, absolutely. So I kind of started thinking about like, well, what would this intro be? You know, how would I kind of want to direct it? What would I want to see? And for this, we did start with the music first. And Dale North composed all the new music for the game. He did an amazing job. And I think he drew from the original theme from the games. Like the game doesn't have a ton of music, but it does have a very iconic theme. So drawing from that super iconic theme, he came up with this incredible song. We got Mary Elizabeth McGlynn from Silent Hill to sing it. It's kind of crazy. Sorry?
Mary McGlynn.
Yes. Yeah, so started from the music and started kind of visualizing, okay, well I have a little bit of a thread of a story here. You know, I kind of want to start with the introduction of the mansion, and then I want to have these shots. These are all places in the mansion. Some are kind of like super zoomed in, so I kind of had to come up with some new elements, but they're all places drawn from the game. And then I wanted to lead into, you know, Jennifer going deeper into the mansion and discovering the Scissor Man. So there's a little bit of a narrative thread there. I roughly animated the whole thing and sketched out all of the backgrounds, and then I got help from a couple friends and Studio Future Club to help on the animation. And then I also did a bunch of the compositing. So I really did probably most of it, which is kind of crazy, but not, you know, I couldn't have done it without a ton of help. And yeah, for my first time kind of directing and animating anything like this, I'm pretty happy with it. So.
We talked a little bit at the beginning, going back to your WayForward origins with Barbie and Silent Hill over a decade ago. But I believe this is the first time you've been on a project, and really it was just because of your passion and how much we knew you loved the brand and we trusted you. I think this is the first time that you've led something at WayForward where you're not working with a director like Tomm or Bannon or myself. You are the creative lead. What was that like for you?
I mean, I feel like I got very lucky with this one because it is bringing the original game back. So in that sense, you know, we really just wanted to keep it authentic to the original game. So we have the original Super Nintendo game as it was, and then we have an enhanced version, which we're calling the Rewind version, where we worked with a modder, basically, who did this patch of Clock Tower, the ROM that's out there. And we worked with this modder to kind of bring all these additional features to the game. So in that sense, as a lead, I got very lucky because a lot of the work was kind of done and we were able to lean on the work of other people. But you know, all these new elements that we brought in, kind of this new art, the new intro, we have new music, you know, I was able to kind of help guide that. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's a little nerve-wracking because as a fan myself, I know like how much pressure is on to make something that will make the other fans happy. But you know, I think we worked really hard on it, and I really hope that people will enjoy it.
Woohoo! This is kind of the second really, you know, we've been calling them informally Port Plus games where we put a lot of extra features. The first one was River City Girls Zero, Kuriyotachi no Banka, where we added an intro sequence, song, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that we want to do with these releases is we want to preserve these games that had not come out here in the US. So we want to be very careful with that. So just as we did on River City Girls Zero, where we had a very faithful, very straightforward version of the translation, and then one that was kind of written a little more in the version of the way that the characters speak, and we gave you that choice, we wanted to do the same here. So as Mariel and team were looking at some of the features, some of the quality of life enhancements, all of those are available in the game. However, you can also play the game exactly as it was in 1995 on the Super Famicom. So we wanted to make sure that we weren't making you choose. We weren't saying we're forcing you to have a modern version or we're forcing you to play a version that maybe feels a little bit kind of outdated. We always want to give you guys the options, and so I was very happy that you guys have both of those game modes in there.